What's going on, guys? Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing another video. This is about the Fortnite storyline. Sorry you have to look at this skin here, the Coliseum, but so yeah. Okay, let's just go into it. So first of all, starting the storyline off with a bang. A meteor crash landed on the island, making a giant hole in the middle of the map. It's a crater, not a hole. This crater, throughout season 4, was doing nothing until. So there's two there's also movies being created, but that's for later. And then after that, essentially, a visitor got out of the escape pod he was in, or whatever kind of pod that is, and he went over to the villain base and used hop rocks apparently to power the rocket, and then one day he launched it into the sky and also created a giant rift in the sky. This giant rift would do a lot of stuff, like introduce drift, introduce the new sand, like a sand area, and also a Viking village and a golf course. So yeah, eventually Kevin the Cube was spawned. When Kevin the Cube was spawned, he went over to Loot Lake, also creating ruins in his wake. He went over to Loot Lake and then melted into it, and eventually in Season 6, an island was introduced to the game. Kevin Floating Island. This island went through the map, siphoning the power from the ruins, and it went back to Loot Lake and stayed there for a bit, and then eventually, pouring power into the little hole, which is most likely the Nexus area. And that hole, eventually it exploded. And then we went into the in-between. The in-between is a place that we also saw in Chapter 2, Season 4. It's where the Nexus is held. So, yeah. The in-between... Soon, we saw butterflies, we touched it, and then we got rifted back to the island. But it looked like it was weeks after, because all the plantation stuff was restored and stuff like that, and there was a bunch of Kevin shards everywhere. So yeah, then eventually we went to Season 7, which was the season where things started getting crazy. Oh, if things weren't already crazy enough then, before. So a guy named Sergeant Winter brought a giant ice area to this island, like the bottom bottom left of the map, and that area was then covered in snow, obviously, washing away stuff like Flush Factory, for example. And yeah, throughout the season, the ice was on the polar peak area was melting, and it revealed a castle. This castle was where Ice King was held, and also someone else. I will talk about that later. So yeah, eventually he had a castle on his hands, essentially. Why do I keep saying essentially? But he did do something to the island. I don't know much of the reason why. Most likely to hold back the Fire King, which was the cage he was in was melting. And the cage eventually melted fully, pretty sure that took place after the events where there was a snowstorm. But yeah. Alright. Alright. Ugh. I really wish I could cut that part out, but I don't know how to cut things out in my video. After that, the Fire King got his powers back, went to weeping. I meant not weeping or wailing. Went and then summoned a volcano from the ground. Went to the core, I guess, or something like that. Boom, created a volcano. And there was also a place next to it called Sunny Steps. So yeah, basically. Also, yeah, the little place that we saw before, like in wailing before season 8, right before season 8, we could think it actually is from IO, so we don't know. So yeah, after that, we went throughout the season, and eventually we went to the volcano event. The volcano event was probably the biggest, no, not the biggest actually, one of the biggest, though, events that we've ever seen. This event was called the Unvelting, or volcano, depending on what you think it is. So first the vault was opened, which is where the Nexus was held, or you get already in between, I don't know, but it's well, whatever. So basically, after that, we went to pickaxe the drum gun down to death. Not to death, I mean, drum guns can't die, usually, I'm pretty sure. They're not sentient. But yeah. This will be chapter 1 only, by the way. And once that happened, we were done with that, and the volcano exploded. Destroying Polar Peak, and also fully destroying Tilted Towers except one building, and Retail Route. Both these places were gone, basically. But then in season 9 they were rebuilt, and there was a bunch of others kind of tech stuff added. I wish I would have played that season, but yeah. After that, eventually there was a monster roaming around the map after he was broken from the ice. I don't know. We don't know. Most of us don't know how. But yeah. And then after that he went and circled the island, and eventually he attacked again. But by then, a robot mech was built by maybe Singularity, and maybe Singularity was piloting it and stuff like that. So yeah, basically after that, they had a big fight that resulted in the mecha team leader ripping the orb out of the vault and using its power to defeat the monster. And then now that the monster was dead, the mecha team leader went up into space. Also, he flossed with one arm, which created an emote. So yeah, after that, boom, we went in season 10. The zero point exploded, and stuff happened. Like, for example, the visitor or the scientist, or even most likely the scientist, created a bunch of area, like the Dusty Deep also came back, and there was a bunch of rift locations. I think there was like 7 to represent the 7, maybe to bring the 7 into our universe, maybe, I don't know. And then eventually, during live event, which was the end, all the 7 rockets created a rift right in front of the meteor, and with enough power to pull it in and then drop it on the 0 point. And as soon as the 0 point was exploded fully, creating a black hole. So yeah, that's the end. Bye guys.